watching KWQC TV, the news leader, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the KWQC Broadcast Center in downtown Davenport with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, blending Mexican folk with rock and roll while telling stories that cross borders. Arabi Mexicano is here as part of the Quad City Arts Visiting Artist Series.
And a new month means it's time for our QCL Book Club. We'll take a look at some recommended titles, including our book club selection for May, plus several fun events happening soon at the Davenport Public Library.
And later, tips and tricks to help you save money at the grocery store. You won't want to miss today's financial moment with Heidi.
Hello and welcome to Quad Cities Live on this Tuesday, May 6th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier.
I'm Kyle Keel.
Yes, well, this afternoon we are thrilled to welcome a familiar face and fangs back to the QCA,
Yes.
best known as Eddie Munster from the classic TV show The Munsters. Butch Patrick has become something of a hometown legend in Geneseo, Illinois.
Yes, and after helping make Geneseo's Spook the Loop a smash hit 2 years running, Butch Patrick is back in town once again. But this time, he is here to help pave the way for a greener future. Butch Patrick and local artist Sheila Wygant McGee are joining us right now. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So Sheila, we have to start out. How did you get connected with Butch?
Well, I'm on the Geneseo Chamber of Commerce, and I'm on the Promote Committee.
Okay.
And we were trying to figure out ways to bring tourism to Geneseo.
Sure.
And I thought we got a lot of places to celebrate their history.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of history, and he's part of our history in Geneseo, and I thought, well, I'll see if I can reach out and get a hold of him.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
And here he is.
Yeah.
yes.
And now we got him.
Yes.
QCL.
This is great.
Can't get rid of me.
Yeah, we love it. We
Yes,
love it.
we love it.
So you were telling us a little bit of your connection to Geneseo before we started the show.
Yeah.
But if you would, just share with everybody that's watching today, you know, how meaningful the community is to you and how you ended up there.
Well, living in Geneseo as a young child, I was in the 5th grade. My grandmother actually grew up there as a little girl, and when she left California to move away, I went with her and spent the 5th grade going to school there, and I just really, really enjoyed it. Great memories, and whenever I crisscross the country, I always try to come back and visit. But when they reached out to me after the car show situation, because I do have a Munster coach and I have a Dragula, and I thought, well, this is great. I get to go home and visit. And one thing led to another, and it's just always nice to reconnect. And I guess I didn't appreciate it as much as I should have as a kid, but now when I come back, it's just, it's such a clean city. We're going to even try to make it a little cleaner with some solar.
Yes. Yeah, Geneseo is certainly a great place. And so actually when you were living in Geneseo, that's when you got the call to be Eddie Munster.
Exactly. They, my agent had called me and said they hired a kid for this series, but they want to recast it, and she convinced them. She convinced them to fly me out. Exactly.
Wow.
Sometimes it's just happenstance in Hollywood, and for me, it was lucky for me and Yvonne DiCarlo because we were the last 2 additions to the show, and I left Geneseo, and by the time I was done, my grandmother had moved on to Missouri, and so that was my only really brief stint in the city.
Wow, that is, what a cool story.
Yeah.
And we actually do have a clip from the show, so let's play that. Take a look.
Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad.
Bye, son.
Now I can go to school and tell all the guys that I don't have to move and that I can be the captain of the school baseball team. Boy, this is the neatest thing that's happened since Grandpa dug up Spot for me.
Does it bring back memories?
Yeah, retainers for my eye teeth. It was good to have fangs. That might have helped me get the part.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that was so cute. And I used to watch that. I mean, like when I was growing up, and my dad. I mean, I haven't even told him that you're going to be on the show today because he probably would have freaked me out. Big fan. You have returned to Geneseo, as we mentioned earlier, a couple of times for that Spook the Loop event. So, what does it feel like to have the town kind of embrace you so fully? I believe you even received a skeleton key to Geneseo.
I've just been so blessed. The show was only on for a few years, but it resonated so well with so many people and family values and multi-generations. And even though we were looking like monsters, it was a family unit, very believable stuff.
Yes.
And I really appreciate my time that I had there because it gave me a nice balance to appreciate what I had and then balance it off the Hollywood stardom stuff.
Yeah.
So I never left my, I like to keep myself somewhat grounded. I think it helped.
Yeah.
So you kind of alluded to this earlier, and we're seeing some some photos on the screen. Talk a little bit more about your famous car and motorcycle, because a lot of people like seeing this.
Yeah, well, you know, George Barris supplied us with like the two coolest cars in Hollywood, and he was the king of the customizers. So at an early age, I was surrounded by really good stuff.
Look at that.
And then I wound up buying a gentleman's Dragula and Munster coach, and now I've actually got rid of those two, and mine are now really accurate to George Barris standards and stats. So yeah, it's cool. I love car shows. I'm a gearhead, and the car show that they put on is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like a ton of fun. And Sheila, we want to talk to you as well. You're an artist, you're a sculptor, but you've also been very integral in a lot of community events there in Geneseo. So I wanted to kind of ask you how you feel like art and these community events really come together just to make it such a great place.
Well, part of the idea was also to get a lot of the artists to participate, to try to get them to get together and do different things to bring tourism to Geneseo. And one of the items that we had made by John Fuentes was an electric chair, which I think you need to put it solar.
Yeah, there you go. That will be a slow death.
Electric chair.
That'll be an attraction.
And, you know, Butch is working.
Painful.
That is so funny. Oh my gosh.
But Butch is working with solar here. And we're going to be promoting the company.
Yeah.
We are. That was just a really good joke.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna clip that for later.
That's funny. So Sheila, you know, we always talk about how public art really makes an impact on cities. So how do these sculptures and public art kind of shape the community of Geneseo and impact the community?
Well, like I said, it's like the most, it brings in tourism. In fact, I think the Quad Cities, I'd like to promote in the Quad Cities more, because it does bring in tourism. It's like the second most popular activity next to hiking and biking and doing things of that sort. And so eventually I would like to do another event, which includes bringing artists together with the people who want to create art in the Quad City area.
Yeah.
So that is one other goal. And I'd like to bring Butch back again.
More Spook the Loop.
I got to bring the Munster coach this time.
Yeah, you do. You got to show off
ride.
the new ones. Okay, so you're here this week. Actually, the event is tonight, Butch, to support Legacy Solar and Electric. So how did you get involved with this initiative? Why did you want to get involved with it?
Well, believe it or not, it goes back to a car show in Muhammad, Illinois. The gentleman who is with a Legacy right now brought me in. We became friends. We had a huge turnout. And when he went into the solar industry, they were asking about how could they maybe generate some interest, and he reached out to me. And I had actually been involved with another solar company in California 15 years ago, but I wasn't happy with the product and I wasn't happy with the company, but I had all these ideas in my head still. And the joke was, you know, if you don't have Grandpa in the dungeon making your electricity, you may want to have solar. It's cleaner, it's easier, and you don't have to deal with the crazy man.
Yeah.
So we took that idea, and now the product's super. It's super great time. And Illinois has some of the best benefits from going solar, you know, with rebates and kickback, this and that, and all kinds of good stuff. So we're looking forward to talking to the community as opposed to individuals. We're going to put them all in the room and share some good stuff for them.
Yeah, like a meaningful but also a really fun event.
Yep.
Butch will be at the Geneseo Moose Lodge tonight from 5 to 7 p.m. So they're just going to head there right after they leave here, probably, promoting Legacy Solar and Electric. For attendees, they will learn more about opportunities available in Geneseo. And the cutest thing I think I read about this on the press release, oh, there it is on your screen, Greeneseo.
Turn it Greeneseo.
Turn it into Greeneseo. Sheila and Butch, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
It was great having you.
Yes, well, coming up on QCL, the Quad City Arts Visiting Artist Series is about to wrap up for the season, and they're doing it in a big way. We'll share details on how you can see live public performance this week next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Jarabe Mexicano is a dynamic musical group known for its unique fusion of Mexican folk, rock, and a special kind of soul, with performances providing connection, storytelling, and education.
Yes, and the group is in town this week as part of the Quad City Arts Visiting Artist Series. Of course, it's a nationally recognized program that brings artists into local schools, touching the lives of more than 29,000 students each and every year. A great program here in the community. Joining us now is the band's drummer, Danny Brito, along with singer Gustavo Alcocer. Thank you both for joining us today.
Yes, thank you.
I know you guys have been really busy. I came from Glenview here in East Moline right before the show, and they're here to talk a little more about the band. So Danny, tell us more about the band.
Yeah, we're considered a border band. We all grew up in border towns in California and Arizona.
Okay.
So we basically play music that we grew up listening to, and we share some stories in hopes of connecting with communities, you know, that maybe have not been to the border, but we consider that the border is sort of the same as everywhere else, really. So that's kind of our main message, is to just kind of form bridges with different communities. Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, and Gustavo, you guys are 2 here today out of 5
out of 5
band members. Can you talk a little bit about the different instruments? You're a singer, correct?
Yeah, so I'm the lead singer, but we have 2 more singers as well.
Okay.
We have Eddie, who plays guitarrón, which is our bass guitar, and he sings. And then we have Tony Pro. I'm sorry, Tony is now playing the bass guitar. Eduardo used to, and now he stepped into the vihuela, which is a smaller instrument used in mariachi music.
Wow.
And then we have Esteban Smith on lead guitar. And he rocks on that, so we're really excited.
Yeah, that's great. And while you're talking about it, I believe we have a short clip showing some of your performances, so let's take a listen to that.
Fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all of the time. Why? Now you see the light. You gotta stand up for your right. Cause the people united will never be divided. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Te me pongo.
Look
Sounds
at you,
great.
the energy.
Yeah, love it.
Gustavo, I love it.
Yes.
That is awesome.
And Gustavo, you're bringing that energy to many local schools. As we mentioned, you came from Glenview Middle School just probably within the last hour or so. So how many schools are you all visiting as a band this week?
We do 14, believe it or not.
Busy.
And then, of course, we have our concert on Thursday at Mercado on 5th. But yeah, 14 schools, 3 a day.
Yeah.
So it's also that, right? A lot of energy from the kids.
Yeah.
It's really, really a cool feeling to be there and to share this music with them.
A lot of smiles, I can only imagine. And so, Danny, take us through what one of these outreach events looks like. What happens as soon as you get to the school?
Of course. So we basically start off with explaining who we are, why we're playing the music we're playing, and we always say we're gonna play songs in English and Spanish and Spanglish. Okay. So yeah, and then we explain what Spanglish is, and we'll basically go through a songbook that includes some mariachi songs, some popular Mexican songs, along with some rock and roll, some cumbia, and we always finish it off with La Bamba, both as rock and roll, as a son jarocho. Yeah.
How cool. And you know, for many of these students, they might be, you know, introduced to this music for the first time. So what's it like to see their reactions?
It's really cool because we play a lot with rhythm. And so we have them clapping along to our songs and singing some simple words in Spanish with us, but they get really excited, and we just love being able to share this with them.
Yeah, I mean, you explaining the instruments to me, some of those I've never even heard of as, you know, an adult woman. So it's just, you know, I'm only imagining for them, on top of everything else, how cool of an experience this really, really is. This is actually, you have a little bit of a special connection to the Quad Cities. Talk about, so you've been here before then?
Yes, this is our second time.
Oh my goodness.
I think we were here in 2022.
Welcome back.
Yeah, so we definitely have a really, really good connection with Quad City Arts. Ben, I think Margot as well. I mean, this was actually, the first time we were here was right after the pandemic, pretty much.
Boy.
That we started to tour again. So we always have that special connection that it's kind of like one of the reasons we put the band back together again after the pandemic and kept going. So definitely, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
So today is May 6th, a very special day for the band.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's actually the first gig we had on the road. And so we're celebrating that anniversary this week, along with Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
So yeah, it's very special for us.
Okay, well that is awesome. Well, congratulations on celebrating the anniversary. You already alluded to the public performance that you're going to be having later this week on Thursday. So this is a live, free public performance at Mercado on 5th. So what can people expect on Thursday night?
Yeah, our full songbook, we would say.
Wow.
There you go.
Lucky us.
Yeah, 2 hours of music. Again, English, Spanish.
I hear there's going to be food.
Food, yes, food.
Always at Mercado.
Yes, you gotta have the food.
Yeah, and just dancing and singing as always with what we do with our band. So we're really excited.
Yeah.
So where else in the U.S. do you guys tour?
Well, we just came down from Wisconsin, but we go throughout all the Northwest, Southwest, Midwest, and we're starting to venture onto the East Coast
great.
too. So.
Yeah, well, that is good for you guys.
Yeah.
That is wonderful to see, and you guys look like such a fun, high-energy band, and you know that is what people really, really enjoy.
Yeah.
Danny, if you want people to take away something after being able to see you all perform live on Thursday, or maybe possibly in one of these school settings, what would you want them to take away from seeing you all together?
I think the most important thing is just that we're all really pretty much the same community. Even though we have our differences, really we're just inviting everybody to come and join the party and have a good time as equals, you know, as part of the same sort of mission, I would say, that we're all just here to try to have a good time and get along and really enjoy music that maybe you've heard, maybe you haven't, but we play it in such a way that makes, I think, sense to people that might have never heard some of these songs or song styles. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, sounds like you guys have the right idea. Well, you can celebrate the end of the Visiting Artist season with a free outdoor concert by Jarabe Mexicano at Mercado on 5th this Thursday in downtown Moline. The performance is open to the public, and of course, admission is free. Doors are going to open at 6 o'clock with the music starting at 7, and you are encouraged to bring your own lawn chair for the concert. Danny and Gustavo, thank you so much for taking some time out of your very busy schedules to talk to us here on QCL.
Yes,
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you. Just ahead, we are reviewing our most recent read as part of the QCL Book Club and choosing something new for May, plus some fun events happening soon at the Davenport Public Library.
Quad Cities Live continues.
It is time for another chapter of our QCL Book Club. This month, we are wrapping up our thoughts on The Royal Librarian, a dual timeline novel that swept us into the Royal Archives. Then we are turning the page and revealing our book club pick for May. Joining me, as always, is Brittany Peacock from the Davenport Public Library. Brittany, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here today on this beautiful day.
Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. I want to be outside.
It's gorgeous outside. A great day to maybe grab a book and sit outside and read. The Royal Librarian is what we're talking about today by Daisy Wood. So I guess give everybody just a brief gist of what the book is about, and then we'll kind of share our feelings.
Absolutely. So 1942, it's dual timeline, so 1942, and then it goes kind of to current day. Sophie the Nazis are getting into Austria, and she and her sister are kind of trying to find a way out of safety. She's then lands herself at Windsor Castle and kind of falls into the role as royal librarian.
Yes.
So you kind of have that storyline, and then present day, a young woman is going through her grandmother's belongings and discovers some secrets about her grandma's past.
Yes.
So she's trying to unlock all of those answers.
Yes, and like without giving too much away, I mean, there's a lot of themes of sisterhood in this, both in the present day and in the past.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the book?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I think I wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted to know more about what it was like to be a librarian in Windsor Castle. And so there were some plot holes.
Yeah, there were a few. I will agree with you. Like, I found myself having to go back and read a lot of those parts where she was at Windsor Castle and going, wait, what just happened? And you know, when you have to do that and you have to go back and go, I think I missed something here.
Yes.
So that one for me was tough. I did like the present day, some of the relationships in the present day. I really liked the grandmother in the present day. She was a lovable
really
character. And the writing was very well done when it was in the past, when the Nazis were taking over Austria. That was really well done. But I will agree with you. There were some moments where my brain was going, this is maybe like a little too much for me to follow right now. So I will say that. But I do love, you know, an historical fiction. So
and I love the premise.
yes, I do as well. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about our selections now for May, and it is Mystery Month. So in honor of that, we've got The Villa by Rachel Hawkins, which you see there in front of you on the table. Up next, Older Americans Month, Wild Women and the Blues by Denny S. Bryce. May 7th, tomorrow, is Tourism Day. Of course, we're talking all about tourism on the show yesterday. That one is This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. May 11th, of course, we've got Mother's Day coming up on Sunday. The American Daughters by Maurice Carlos Ruffin. And so those are all of our selections. So which one will we choose? Drum roll, please. We have This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. Got a little bit of a glare on the book right there, but that's what it looks like. Thanks, Brittany. If anybody is wanting to check it out or buy it online, that's what the cover looks like. Okay, so talk a little bit about what this book is about. I'm excited about this one. I've started reading it.
Yes, me too.
I'm excited about this one because we're getting into those summer months a little bit, and we're looking for those lighter summer reads.
Yes, warm, beachy reads. This is the perfect beach read, or just perfect sit out on a blanket in the sun. So basically the premise, it is a romance, so I have started reading it too.
And
it's spicy.
It's spicy.
A little spicy. So if that's maybe not your forte, just proceed with caution.
Right.
Or get excited because it's very spicy. I really like it. So basically, two best friends, they're going back to the one friend's home, and she has 3 rules for her best friend. Eat as many oysters as possible.
Right, Prince Edward Island.
Prince Edward Island, yes. Eat as many oysters as possible, leave the city behind, and don't fall in love with her brother.
Yes.
Well,
you can probably guess.
Let's find out what happens.
What happens after that? Yeah, and so I've gotten through all of that. I will say, you know, and this won't give too much away. I already can tell you I love the friendship.
Yes. Oh, it's so
the
cute.
2 women.
Yes.
In this. So
yes.
It's wonderful. So
Strong
hopefully you will
friendship
read along with us for the month of May. Let's talk about some upcoming programs with the Davenport Public Library. Teen Gaming. You're going to be doing this every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. So our teen librarian, Miss Amber, is fabulous. So she brings out old and new gaming systems. She has laptops ready, so if anybody wants to play Roblox, it's just kind of an open play time at Fairmont. And
that's great.
All are welcome.
Something for the kids to do. They love it, and I love they include both video games, computer games, but also tabletop games.
Yes, yeah, we have
so you can do a good old-fashioned tabletop game. I love that. Up next, Yoga and Stories pop-up library at Autistic and Loved, which is such a great space. So this is kind of an off-site thing that you guys are involved in.
Yes.
And that's at the end of May, Thursday, May 22nd.
Yes, yep. So my team actually is partnering with Autistic and Loved. So Miss Michelle will have books ready for checkout, get library cards issued, and then Miss Holly is going to lead Yoga and Stories in this space. So it'll be
a great
fun.
event. Again, I love that space. My daughter's been there, and she says it's a ton of fun. So kiddos will love it. Adult DIY, and you've got a paint night coming up on Thursday, May 29th. So this one's for the grown-ups.
This is for the grown-ups. It is registration required, but this is an opportunity if you're an artist or you're aspiring or you just want to try something new. This is a really great opportunity to come and create some beautiful art.
Do we know, is that the painting that they're going to be doing?
That might be the painting.
That might be
I'm not 100%
that's really,
sure.
really pretty.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
I can tell you mine would not turn out that beautiful.
No,
but it would be super fun.
Yes. No experience is necessary for that, and registration is recommended, in fact, required, not recommended, because they need to know how many things to bring. Paintbrushes, canvases, all of that.
Exactly.
Okay, we always talk a little bit about children's books before we let you go, and there appears to be a theme for our children's books.
I'm obsessed with flowers.
Yes.
So April showers bring May flowers. So we are reading books about flowers this month. So Bloom Boom is a nonfiction, but it's super accessible, just mostly pictures of beautiful flowers.
We like that.
And then Plant the Tiny Seed is an interactive book. So as you're reading, the kids can play with you, and your plants will grow. That's very sweet.
I love that. Yes, the peonies out there, if you've got any, they're about to pop.
Yes.
So
I'm so excited.
Yes, we're all ready on this sunny, beautiful day. Brittany, thank you. And a reminder, if you want to read along with us, and we hope that you do, be sure to join our group on Goodreads. Just search groups for QCL Book Club. Very easy. There's also a link to join our book club on our website. Head to kwqc.com and click the tab for Quad Cities Live. Brittany, thanks again, and we will look forward to seeing you back again next month.
Yay!
Yes, thank you. Coming up in our second half hour, a local tech repair business that can fix pretty much every computer, console, and controller in-house with a quick turnaround time, too. Plus, ways to save money on food with tools you can use to avoid overspending at the grocery store.
And Morgan and Brittany, we're just talking about this, how beautiful it is outside. Temperatures well into the 70s, and we've got even warmer temperatures on the way for tomorrow. Also, the chance for maybe a couple spotty showers, but only for just a few of you. We'll take a look at Exact Track and time it out for you coming up in your first alert forecast in the next half hour of Quad Cities Live.
Accurate and reliable. This is your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Kyle Keel.
I cannot wait to get outside and enjoy this weather because it's almost picture perfect here for May standards. We've got lots of sunshine. In fact, no clouds to be found except for Burlington on our Everywhere Camera Network. But those clouds are fair weather clouds, so they're not obviously producing any rainfall. And we are going to be looking at more clouds, though, heading into Wednesday, along with just the slight chance for a rain shower. But hey, right now, lots of sunshine, 74, a calm wind, dew point of 45. Very refreshing as you step out the door with light wind. We're still stuck in between those upper level lows. Here's the upper level low located over the Great Lakes. Notice we've got some tornado warnings, flash flood warnings ongoing in portions of Pennsylvania and New York. And we've got some severe weather ongoing with this other upper level low with areas of Texas and Louisiana. In fact, a couple strong tornadoes possible in Texas and Louisiana. And yes, if you look closely, a little snow there where that upper level low is centered over portions of the Rockies. Here at home, obviously no snow. We're done with that. It's the least snowiest season on record officially in Moline. Down to the 50s here tonight, and then we'll have highs close to 80 degrees. Some areas exceeding 80 as we head over the next 24 hours. Got a double look at that. As we look at Exact Track, we're going to time out maybe just a few light rain showers, very isolated in nature. Again, increase in clouds as you start your day here on Wednesday. We're going to have this cold front move in. You'll notice kind of those converging winds as temperatures do warm up enough. Some of those clouds could bubble up. A couple of showers, maybe a brief thunderstorm. These are going to only linger probably through 9-10 o'clock, and then as that front shifts off to the south and west, we'll get that out of here, and that'll lead to some cooler conditions here as we head into the day on Thursday, and we'll keep that going here on Friday as well. High temperatures will be in the low 70s. We're closer to we're closer to 80 degrees though as we head into the weekend, including Mother's Day. So if you have any outdoor plans for mom, that's a day. Just saying that you maybe get mom some flowers, plant them out in the yard, maybe some vegetable plants if that's what she wants as well. And we're gonna have that nice weather continuing here as we head into early next week. And spoiler alert, beyond looks warm as well. So we've got a nice stretch of May weather ahead of us. Yes, we've all been waiting for it.
We have.
Hopefully it does not change though like it did last week.
No, we don't want that either.
No.
All right, Kyle, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we've all experienced at least one of these scenarios before. Your computer is running slow, maybe your game console won't power on, your controller is acting up. Well, our next guest definitely has you covered.
Yes, Wolf Computers and Console Repair. They were founded in 2020, located in Geneseo, Illinois. And it's a trusted name in the tech repair game. So joining us now is the repairman himself, owner Tim Wolf. Tim,
yes, Tim.
welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Yes, thanks for coming to the Metro QC from Geneseo. So how did you get started in this business of yours?
I liked to play games, and the only way to keep my computer going was to learn how to fix it.
Yeah.
So I started with that, and then game consoles, and then from there it just kept growing.
Okay, well, you officially opened your business, I believe I read in 2020.
Yes.
Okay, well, what a year, right? What
yeah,
a year
that was a year.
Well, I'm glad something good happened
It did.
that year, and that you were able to open your business. You've actually been in tech repair in that world, though, for much longer than that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, talk a little bit about your background and how you learned to do all of this.
So I started working in a small repair shop in the Quad Cities, and then I've worked in corporate IT as well as repairing computers and other small computer shops in the Quad City area.
Awesome.
And then I decided to branch out and start my own business, and then a lot of the game console repair moved from there. So.
Awesome.
Okay, so what kind of makes you a little bit different than some of those other places that you worked, some of those big box stores, the services you offer, what make them different?
So I am one of very few that does their stuff in-house.
Okay.
So a lot of it gets shipped out if you take it to any other stores in the Quad City area. The nice part about that is you don't have to worry about your console getting shipped. So if you're, for instance, you have a special edition Star Wars PS4, you don't want it shipped to, who knows where to get repaired and then to come back. So all our services are done in-house.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
I never thought about that. I mean, these are expensive machines, oftentimes very meaningful to people. So you repair all models of consoles and controllers, which is incredible to me that you're able to do that. So what are some of the most common issues you see, and how are you able to fix them?
So a lot of the common ones are stick drift and HDMI ports that are broken,
Okay.
Especially with the PS5s and the Xbox Series X's. I have quite a bit of equipment to do that kind of work because it is time consuming and tedious to get into the bigger consoles.
Oh,
the
I
other big
bet.
one is controller stick drift in consoles and stuff like that. So those are repaired with replacement parts
Okay.
and then recalibrated.
All right, so you've got plenty of examples with us today. So let's say you've got a little Xbox controller here. What would you say is one of the most common issues with that? Is it
Besides
drift?
and besides the stick drift, the right and left shoulder buttons go
Sure.
out a lot because people get to
Oh.
jamming on their
Yes.
shoulder buttons. Yeah,
That would be me when I play video
Exactly.
games. I was
Yeah.
not very nice to my controllers.
Yeah,
Come on,
no.
turn, go, go, go.
I know.
was
We
never-
get
never
heated.
good. We do.
We get
yes,
heated, don't we,
do.
when we play these games? So yeah, talk a little bit about some of the other things that you brought today.
So I fix everything, like you guys said, from older consoles such
Yeah.
as the Atari 2600.
Oh,
Yeah, this
to,
is awesome.
yeah, yeah.
I feel like you brought like a rare antique with you
Yes.
for today.
So I have a couple
Sparking
rarer ones,
nostalgia.
but yeah, that's one of the rarer ones.
That's
it's
super cool.
actually it's actually the Vader Special Edition, Star Wars edition of
Oh.
the Atari 2600.
Very timely with May
Yes.
the 4th.
Yes. Oh yeah, you're right. Very cool. And so I've seen these a lot. Is that a Switch?
Yes.
Can you tell? I don't have a child that plays
I-
video games yet.
Yes, I've not seen this device here.
A
So this is
Nintendo
the
Switch.
Nintendo Switch, yeah.
Yeah, so I do all repairs on the Nintendo Switch, so I get a lot of Joy-Cons that are drifting and stuff like that. They've had a lot of problems with that. The other thing is the charging port in the bottom that they have a lot of problems with. so
sure.
I do any repairs, even repair water-damaged switches and stuff like that.
Which
Oh
that-
boy, water
oh.
damage.
Common occurrence.
Yeah, common
Been there.
occurrence with, yes, we certainly have, and you won't be there the last time either.
No, exactly.
So with everything being in-house, talk a little bit about turnaround time, because it sounds like, you're able to get stuff back to people a lot faster because you're not kind of waiting on that third party.
Absolutely. Most of my services are the same day or the next day.
That's great.
Wow.
As far as repairs, I try to get everything back to everybody as quickly as possible. So I schedule appointments so that when somebody comes in, if they need their console back, or people drive from a long ways away and come get their stuff repaired. So, obviously they don't want to drive all the way the hour and a half back.
Sure.
And then, so as much as I can, I try to get stuff in and out the same or the next day.
Well, you certainly know your ins and outs of the gaming consoles and the controllers, but you also know a thing or two about computers because you actually build and sell your own computers.
Absolutely.
Impressive.
That is, I'm very impressed. yes.
Anything from gaming computers to budget builds. I do all of those. I basically also offer on-site repairs for people that can't get out of their house to get their computer repaired.
Oh, that's a good.
Or a lot of the times they'll have a computer and they don't want to unhook it all to take it out. So I offer in-home services as well.
Also, lots and lots of services, really from your computer to your gaming console. So if you want to get in touch with Tim, you can call the number that we're going to pop up on your screen. That's 563-396-4019. And you can also find him on Facebook by searching Wolf Computers. And of course, as always, we'll have this information on our website, kwqc.com. Tim, thank you for coming in today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Still to come, if the thought of spending money at the grocery store makes you cringe, we've got some simple tips to help you save. Our financial moment with Heidi is next.
Well, if your grocery bill is eating up more of your budget than you'd like, you're certainly not alone.
Not.
But there are some smart ways to cut food expenses without sacrificing quality or nutrition.
Yes, it is time now for our financial moment with Heidi. And today we're getting some practical tips for saving money at the store. So joining us as always is our financial contributor, Heidi Hueskamp Collins. Heidi, welcome back.
Good to be here.
Yes, thank you
Thanks
for
for
being
coming
here.
in.
This is a topic that everybody can get on board
We
with.
can relate.
And relate to how to save money on food. So let's get started with some of your points. So the envelope system, that's not something I've ever heard of.
Okay. This has to be when you are all in, you are committed and you want to save money. Okay? If you're just halfway, don't go this route.
Okay.
But here's the envelope system. First step is get a couple months worth of your credit card statements and your debit card statements look, you know, oh, I spent money at Hy-Vee, or I spent money at California Burrito, or I spent money at, you know, Chick-fil-A or wherever. And, you know, you make a total of all that, of both eating out and then the grocery shopping. Now, I want you to cut back 10%. So if, I'm just making this up. So if, let's say that your eating out expenses on average for a month total are $100. $100 times 0.90, 90%, is $90. Okay? So you get a white envelope and you put eating out and you put $90 on it.
Okay.
And then you do the same for your grocery shopping.
Okay.
And 90%, and you put that amount on. Then I want you going to the bank or the credit union or going to the ATM and getting cash. That's important. You get cash and you put that much cash in each of the envelopes.
Okay.
And you are going to spend for the month only as much cash are in those envelopes.
Okay.
Okay, and I think that might be hard for some people because we all rely on that plastic card in our wallets or purses. We rely on the debit card and the credit card.
Yeah.
So you're suggesting go to the grocery store with cash.
Absolutely, and out to eat. And here's the thing. It's so easy when it's a debit card or a credit card. It doesn't, you can't touch it and feel it and see that it's, you know, these crisp dollars.
Right.
You know, when you've got $1 in your hand or you've got a 20, that's really cash to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all psychological.
Very much
When it's plastic, it doesn't feel real, you know. And I mean, I've talked to young people, gone to, you know, high schools and colleges, and people have told me that's why they get into credit card debt so bad, because it doesn't feel real to them.
Yeah.
So make it real.
Yes, it is very easy. Okay, so definitely using cash and then borrowing from the categories. So okay.
So what I mean by that is, let's say you get to the third week of the month or the last week of the month, and you're all out of money in your going out category, your eating out category.
Okay. Yes.
And you know your friends want to go out for a burger or something like that. It's permissible to borrow from your grocery money.
Okay.
And use some cash from your grocery money.
I see.
But you better know that if you're going to do that, you're going to have to be able to spend less at the grocery store.
It makes sense, though.
So all of this seems like it's about holding yourself accountable and learning accountability if you overspend. Because again, it's just so easy to do.
Right. Accountability is the key here. So really and truly, when I'm working with couples or people, you know, individuals on budgeting, we're learning accountability. If you get to the end of the month or the third week of the month and there's no money in either the grocery or the going out, you've got to make a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right.
That might mean that you have to go into your entertainment budget or your personal care, your nails.
We don't want to do that.
You know,
Yeah.
or your, you know, paying your Netflix bills or something like that.
Sure.
You know, you might have to give up drinks with friends from your entertainment budget to go out.
Right.
Or to buy groceries that week.
Right.
But you're not going to make that mistake. You're going to learn from that because you're being held accountable, and you're going to learn, and you're going to make different priorities the next time.
Yeah, wonderful. I think those are all good things.
Yeah.
And I love how you started off with, don't even try this if you're not fully committed
gotta
to
be in
doing this. You have to be in it.
You do.
It's not one of those things that you can do halfway.
Right.
That's that accountability.
Right. And so with your clients, have you seen success with this process?
I have, yes.
Okay, great.
For those that really are all in and really committed, they will. Now, one thing, you know, I didn't really mention, but when you're figuring out what the amounts are going to be, the $100 a month or whatever, really push yourself. You want to be realistic. You don't want to say, you know, I'm only going to spend $50 a month on groceries or something like that.
Sure.
But cut 10%. hold yourself accountable. Make it a little bit difficult. Make it a little bit out of reach.
Right, a little bit out of reach, and in time you will be saving money, and you will notice that. Okay,
tips.
well, if you want to learn more about the variety of services that Heidi offers, please visit her website. It's on your screen, hhcinvestments.net. And a reminder, you can see all of our segments together by visiting kwqc.com and clicking on the tab for Quad Cities Live. As always, Heidi, great tips today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you, Heidi. Well, just ahead on Quad Cities Live with the wins of the weekend, which includes somewhat of a birthday celebration. We'll explain next. Wednesday on Quad Cities Live, spring fashions from an area clothing boutique with 6 locations celebrating 63 years in business. We'll check out what's new at Four Seasons.
And details on the film screening of Death by Fruitcake at the Last Picture House. The film's director will join us with a preview, along with one of the actors who you may recognize. There she is on the screen. That and much more Wednesday on QCL. All right, now it is time for Wins of the Weekend. Now, normally we do this on a Monday, but the show was so jam-packed yesterday for National Tourism Week, so we just ran out of time.
Let's do it today.
So we're going to do it today.
Why not?
Yeah, and I heard a little something about a birthday. I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, so Chandler, this was my win of the week or weekend, whatever, a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Because her birthday is April 4th, but we chose May 4th. Well, we didn't really choose.
No.
But the grandparents decided that they were going to throw her a little impromptu birthday. So my dad got her this Minnie Mouse get up with the purse. She's a little diva.
Yes.
And then her other grandparents, my in-laws, they threw her a little unicorn party and gave her a little birthday cake there. And then we're going to be celebrating with family and friends this weekend. So people have just kind of been coming and going as they please. We didn't want to block out a whole day because we already did it twice, and then sickness kind of threw those plans out of the water. So she's getting many celebrations. So hopefully she doesn't expect this, to go on. But we're having a fun time celebrating her. 3 years old.
Yes, she is just so adorable. And I told you, I think I sent you a message the other day. I'm like, send her over to my house because I've got one of my own little sassy divas, and she would have a good time with Darbs.
Yeah, what's your win?
For sure. My win is Blossoms and Brunch happened on Saturday. This is an event that I MC every single year for Friends of Trinity Foundation. It was a wonderful event. It was held at Rhythm City Casino this year. Everybody wears their derby hats. You buy different plants and flowers. You also bid on silent auction items, but it's all for a good cause. There's Decker playing, doing the live auction, which he's fabulous at.
He is,
and it goes to some amazing, amazing causes, which I encourage people to look up. And we heard from some very impactful speakers. So I will just say it was a fun event, and I'm just so happy that they asked me to do it again this year.
Looking forward to next year, right?
Yes, looking forward to next year. All right, well, thank you so much for watching Quad Cities Live.
Your News at 4 with Sharon is coming up next. Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow.